Hi, welcome to Positive Parenting. I'm Irini Atia and I'm a Christian counsellor. Today we're going to talk about what every child needs, every child's basic needs. There are a number of things that are common across all developmental stages of children. There are some needs that every child needs, irrespective of whether they're 1 month, 1 year, 10 years, or even 18 years old. And we're going to go through some of these needs today. The first one, and by far the most important one, is what's known as experiencing a positive self-concept, feeling good about who they are. Children with a healthy self-confidence and a healthy self-esteem feel good about themselves. I'm not talking about kids that think that they are the best. It's not about comparison, and it's not about making them feel like they're better than anyone else, but rather that they're comfortable in their own skin. They're likely to be happy, cooperative, successful, and they're likely to make friends easily. Children feel good about themselves when they know that they're loved, when they're getting affection and attention, and when they're praised for their efforts and their achievements. They also need their world to be predictable, with regular routines, clear limits, and appropriate discipline rather than harsh punishment. Every child needs to know that they're loved and accepted for who they are, not what they can do and not what they can achieve, and not the marks that they get or how well they play a particular sport, but that their parents delight in them, that when you see them, your eyes light up and that you're happy to be around them. Every child wants to know that they're loved unconditionally, and when they feel that way, when they really believe that, then they acquire a healthy and positive self-image and a healthy and positive self-esteem. How do children get a low self-esteem though? There are many things that contribute to a low self-confidence, like when a child is compared unfavourably to siblings or peers. Comparison is one of the most damaging things that can happen to a child, because when we compare our child to someone else in a positive or a negative way, we tell them that their intrinsic value, who they are as a person, isn't necessarily in them, it's in how they are in comparison to everyone else. It tells them that I'm actually looking more and paying more attention to everyone else than I am at my child. And the thing is, children sense this, they know it, and they feel that it exists, even if we don't say it directly to them. So when a parent is on the phone talking to someone else about their child and saying, I've noticed that she's not as good as so-and-so, or that she got a lower mark than so-and-so, or that he didn't play as well as so-and-so, a child often hears and feels that they're not good enough because they're constantly being compared to their sibling or to their peer or someone else that their parents or family may know. Other things that contribute to a low self-esteem are a lack of fitness and a poor body image. One of the things that most girls struggle with in early puberty and in their teenage years is self-image. And it's interesting that a lot of research has been done to find that girls get an image, their self-image and their body image and messages about that primarily from their dad. When dad tells his daughter that she is beautiful, that she is wonderful, that he thinks that she is gorgeous, she believes it, and that she doesn't need to go out and look for it from somewhere else. She's satisfied in knowing that she is okay and that she is loved and accepted for who she is and how she looks by the one man who is most important in her life, her dad. Other things that contribute to low self-esteem is negative or pessimistic thinking, where my expectations of my child are negative, where I'm attributing things to him or her that are not really true, where when they, for example, come and tell me a story to entertain me, I call them a liar and tell them, don't lie to me, don't tell me such a thing, when their intention was to make me laugh. It's really important that I'm really careful with words that we choose when we speak to our children and the labels that we give them. Another thing that affects self-esteem in children are arguments and fights between parents. Children are what are known as egocentric. They believe for a very long time that the world revolves around them, and that if anything is going wrong in their family home, it has to do with them. So when you as a couple fight and they see that, part of them believes that they're somehow to blame. It rocks their world and they start to think that maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe there's something wrong with me and that's why I'm in this environment. So it's really important, actually it's paramount, that parents exhibit excellent behaviours when it comes to how to manage their anger and express their anger and frustration. That they actually show their children that we can disagree in a loving and healthy way, because that will teach their children to do the same. Other things are things such as bullying. When a child is bullied by another child, they sometimes start to believe it, and they start to believe the negative things that are said to them about themselves. The only thing that we can do to compensate for that is to make sure that we have a very positive home environment, as well as obviously deal with the bullying situation and discuss it with the school or the childcare or wherever the child may be, and make sure that we take positive and decisive steps to ensure that the bullying stops. But a child that comes from a loving and positive home environment where they are praised and affirmed for who they are, when they're given recognition for the efforts that they put in, are usually resilient children. And resilient children are children that overcome those hurdles that they have in life, even bullying, with the help and the love and the support of their parents. So it's important to encourage and foster a positive self-confidence and a positive self-esteem in our children, because to do so would allow them to grow into adults that have healthy and loving relationships. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you on our next episode.